Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Christodon1, and I am Brock with another video. I forgot about talking about this story. It went down like 4 or 5 days ago. Michael Smith agreed to a buyout with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. It was a fair buyout. He still had $10 million left on his contract, and ESPN and Michael Smith agreed to a buyout, and he's no longer with ESPN. Now, Michael Smith hasn't been on any ESPN programming in quite some time now. Okay, felt like the last time Michael Smith made an appearance on ESPN was like maybe a year and a half ago, maybe, and they just let him just sit at home while they agree to a buyout, and Michael Smith is no longer with ESPN. Now, if you're a Michael Smith fan, he just signed a deal with Sports Media Lab. I want to say Sports Media Lab. I guess he's gonna be doing podcasts and he maybe and also a radio show in the near future. And he's also a senior member of Dick Clark Productions. Okay, so anything that's Dick Clark related, best believe Michael Smith is going to be making an appearance on a lot of those occasions. You know, Dick Clark still does the New Year Eve's bash, so you may see Michael Smith on the teleprompter, or interviewing people that are experiencing New Year's Eve. But he also inked a deal with Sports Media Laboratory, and he'll going to be doing podcasts and radio shows. Also, he's going to be independent. He's not going to be signed to any big networks like Fox or NBC or CBS. Or a lot of people are speculating maybe one day he can go back to ESPN. I don't see that happening either. Now, Michael Smith and Jamel Hill was a great 1-2 punch back 4 or 5 years ago, and they hosted their own podcast. They did a radio show. They also did an afternoon show called His and Hers, was very successful, and ESPN thought it was a great idea to let them host the 6 p.m. SportsCenter. Okay, and that idea was short-lived. It didn't even make it a full year, and Jemele Hill was very political, and she had a hard stance towards Donald Trump and politics in general. And ESPN is the network that they don't want their personalities being too slanted towards politics and heavy matters like that, because Disney owns ESPN. It's a family-centric show, okay? And that's why other sports personalities like Skip Bayless, Colin Cowherd, the list goes on and on, that has a rough persona that wants to be in the political spotlight. A lot of those, and I keep Bill. Bill was she was also in that type of movement, but slowly but surely ESPN has gotten rid of those type of edgy sports personalities, and they gone on and did other things. Jim Rome. So Michael Smith was hosting the 6 p.m. SportsCenter, and Jamel Hill tried to change the formula of the 6 p.m. SportsCenter by tapping into other topics outside of sports, and a lot of fans did not like it. It was bad enough that fans were losing interest of the 6 p.m. SportsCenter because of Michael and Jamel Hill. It's traditionally, they want their particularly on the 6 p.m. SportsCenter, everyone views the 6 p.m. SportsCenter more so for the entertainment aspect, the funny aspect, to try to get away from the hectic life aspect. And they just didn't want to be, down bogged by heavy topics and political statements or political issues outside of sports. And they kind of wanted to get away and step away from that world for just an hour. And that's what SportsCenter was traditionally known for. SportsCenter was never the place to get your information on what went down last night or anything like that, because you pretty much have gotten all the info sports-wise throughout the day. Okay, so it was a family entertainment type of presentation, and it short-lived. Didn't even last a whole year. I felt like with a little bit more time and trying to get Jamel Hill to step aside and step away from heavy topics like politics and things of that nature, kind of focus on, the family-oriented Sports Center, what traditionally was known for. If they possibly just stayed in that format, they probably would still be with ESPN and probably still will be hosting SportsCenter. Okay, so it is what it is. I kind of like the formula. I kind of like Michael. If you separate all the other things that they were doing, and just only focus on Michael and Jemele Hill, they had a great combination, great chemistry with one another. Okay, and it's sad to see them both let go by ESPN. Jamel Hill was let go earlier, and now she's in Hollywood. As far as being the executive producer, she does occasionally sports topics on Undisputed. She does a little work there, freelance work. But other than that, she's uninterrupted. Uninterrupted. She does freelance work for Uninterrupted, but other than that, she's not signed to no major network like Fox or CBS, NBC, anything of that. And she just doing that freelance sports-wise, but then she's also doing her own thing, going the independent route. And that's fairly where Michael Smith is going. He's going to stay neutral and independent and not be just be signed to a major deal. Plus, let's just be fair and let's be honest. Michael and Jamel Hill wasn't going to, and Bill, those three entities alone, they're not going to be coveted and demanded where we have to get these personalities, because they drive the popularity vote, and they can probably uplift some of our shows. They wasn't cut from that same cloth. Not a lot of people were really feeling them. They did have a cult following, but more so with Michael Smith and Jamel Hill. They did have a cult following. I don't think Bill had a huge cult following. And I think she drank a little bit of her own Kool-Aid, and now she's pretty much just out and about, just traveling the world, and no offers. Surprise, surprise. We all knew Bill wasn't going to get a lot of offers from Fox. I mean, I think she briefly was on NBC. That didn't work out. She then went back to ESPN and got a crazy deal. And then ultimately, after a year, ESPN didn't like the deal, and they also negotiated a buyout for Bill as well. And she's no longer with ESPN. Now Michael Smith is no longer with ESPN. If you look at ESPN current talent pool, they have a fairly decent talent pool. A lot of up and coming personalities that haven't made the next step. Okay, and I feel like those are going to be the ones they're going to be catering to for the foreseeable future. Okay, so I kind of wanted to briefly talk about it because I like Michael Smith, and I fairly like Jamel Hill. Okay, but I kind of want to give you guys an update of what he's doing and things of that nature. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm out.